All right, we're recording. So I'm going to count us down in 3, 2, 1. And we're back in the box with our boy, Dougie Cousins from Bearings. He does the vocals and he also does the hockey. Doug, what's up,
What's
buddy?
going on? I'm doing good. How you
Yeah,
guys
man.
doing?
Good, man. Living. We're not living like you, though, man. Bagels and beers for dinner.
Oh yeah, of
Huge,
course.
huge, big
And
move.
the beer too is actually the Killer 93 beer by Whitewater Brewing Co. It's like the Doug Gilmore one.
Okay.
Just to keep it on brand, for the podcast. It's
Okay.
pretty good. It's not
No, I
bad.
like the move.
Yeah.
I like the move. So for
Real
those of
quick,
you who are
since we're
unaware,
on the bagels talk, I saw you had a pretty hot food take calling out Timmy Hortons.
Yeah, dude, it's so bad.
Oh, dude, like you're gonna lose like your Canadian card.
It's so bad though. I feel like that's the funniest thing is that people always look at Canadians in Canada and they're like, "Oh yeah, Tim Hortons." But I feel like most people in Canada are so done with it by now. We're like, "Oh my God, it's so bad."
Really?
I agree. They actually put one in my college town, and I went to school in upstate New York, and it was god awful. I could not believe that like people from Buffalo and Canada made such a big deal about it. The
Yeah,
coffee's pretty decent, like just a regular cup of coffee,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
the bagels are garbage, and the donuts, oh, they taste like cardboard.
Well, I don't remember where we were. We were somewhere in New York State, and we went to a Tim Hortons because we were like, "Oh, there's a Tim Hortons," and I asked for a double double, and they didn't know what it was, and I was like, "How? This can't be a Tim Hortons."
Really?
See, I have no idea what that is.
That's just two cream, two sugar, but that's like a staple. You know what I mean? It's like that's what it's always called, and they
For
had no
frame of
clue.
reference, is Tim Hortons like a Starbucks Dunkin' Donuts type deal, or is it like a 7-Eleven convenience
It's like
type deal?
just like Dunkin' Donuts. It's
Oh,
not on Starbucks level, but I would say its closest comparable is Dunkin'.
got you. But it's like a coffee donut place.
Yeah, yeah, and they should just stick to that. To be honest, everything else they do is just even the coffee is not great, but the sandwiches and stuff are not good, man.
Okay. I'm not a coffee guy, so that's why I would never.
Oh, okay, true, true, true.
Yeah, that's why I never even attempted to go into one of these places. But, so cat's out of the bag. We're talking to someone from Canada, and more specifically the Ottawa region, but even more specifically, a Leafs fan.
Yeah,
How did that
dude,
happen?
go Leafs, go! Oh, I grew up in Toronto. I only
Oh,
moved to Ottawa when I think I was 19, and I
okay.
moved there for college, and that's how I met the guys. But yeah, I grew up in Toronto my whole life.
Oh, okay. That I don't know why that didn't even cross my mind. I was like, ooh, real juicy. We could talk about how lifelong Ottawan, and he's a Leafs fan, but obviously the straight-minded person would realize that he probably moved. So, what's it? What's the deal over there, man? Is it tough being? Is it tough living in Ottawa and being a Leafs fan, or they give you a lot of shit, or who cares about the Sens fans? What goes on?
It's so the way it's always kind of been is like I'll go to a Sens game and it's mostly Leaf fans or about half and half. Because for a lot of Leaf fans, I don't know if you guys know this, but tickets to go to a Leafs game are just outrageous, like insane.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Canadian Rangers.
yeah, so expensive. So most people can't afford to go to a Leafs game. So it's about the same price to drive to Ottawa, get a nice hotel, go to the Sens game, make a night of it, and then drive back to Toronto the next day. It's like around the same price as just going to the Toronto game. So you end up with a lot of people from Toronto driving up and kind of watching the game in Ottawa, which I feel a little bit bad for the Sens because it becomes a little bit of a Leafs game at that point, and it's less of a home game, I think, for them. But I don't know, man. From my experience, Ottawa's a relatively new team in the grand scheme of things, I guess. So a lot of people are still Leaf fans and Bruins fans and all those things from, their parents and their grandparents passing down the team.
Yeah, it makes sense. Mikey had brought up a really good point too, where it seems like we're a bit biased because we hear a lot of Canadian media that are so quick to say, you know, get rid of the Islanders, move them to Quebec. Nobody wants hockey on Long Island. This, that, and the other thing. Meanwhile, there are a bunch of Canadian teams that really aren't successful, and the Senators, in our opinion, is one of them. And you never hear anything about them. Like you said, like you make it a Leafs home game. I mean, it's got to be a couple times there. I mean, they did just go to the Stanley Cup a couple years ago, but other than that, I mean, they're a mess right now.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't know if the Islanders have a similar problem. Didn't you guys just change arenas not too long ago and it didn't work out and you had to move back or something?
More or less, yes. I mean, I think we were trying to redo our original arena that we started in. It just kept getting denied, so they had to move to Brooklyn, I think, with all intentions of getting back into Nassau County on Long Island.
Yeah.
And that's probably going to happen. So.
Okay, because I feel like location is a big thing. The Sens Arena is located like 40 minutes from downtown. It's like so far away. Dude.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big and for what it is, I think they maybe overcharge a little bit for tickets, and I think they're too used to being a good team, so that when they start playing bad, they don't know what to do. They're like, oh, people aren't coming. We're bad now.
Yeah.
What do we do? It's like, well, you got to drop ticket prices, and it would obviously help if the arena was closer to downtown, but it is what it is.
Everyone in Ottawa is like a state worker, so,
yeah.
You're getting out at 5 o'clock, puck drops at 7. That's cutting it close.
It is, yeah. And I guess that's the thing, too, is you don't have as many. With Toronto, you got so many privately owned seats. You got a lot of company-owned seats, if that makes sense.
Right.
So it'll be a sold-out game every game, but it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody's in those seats.
Right.
Whereas in Ottawa, because it's a government city, there's not going to be as many company-owned seats, I guess, really. If it'd be cool, I guess, if the government went and did that if you're a government worker, but I feel like most people wouldn't like it if they used tax dollars for people to go to Sens games.
That's a good point. That'd be a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
We spent millions of your dollars on a team that is just in a flaming garbage pile right now.
Yeah, they're having a rough go. I feel for them.
Yeah.
I feel like it all started with Bobby Ryan. That was like a terrible deal for them.
Yeah, dude, totally. I mean, I used to work there. My job was to I worked in the parking lot. So all I had to do was tell cars not to go a certain direction. And then once I was there long enough, they let me work like where the players come in. So all I had to do was open the gate for the players. And it made me kind of like them because a lot of them were pretty nice.
Oh, hockey players are the best.
Yeah.
They really are. They're a different breed compared to other athletes.
Yeah, the Leaf in me wanted to be like, I hate these dudes, but they all seem pretty cool. So I was like, no, they're cool dudes.
Yeah. Well, let's stop talking about the Senators because we've established that you're not a Senator fan.
No.
But are the other guys in the band Sens fans?
Colin is our bassist, and then Ryan doesn't really watch hockey. Mike, our drummer, I think is a Leafs fan. And then Fitz, our guitarist, I'm pretty sure he doesn't watch hockey either. I think me and Colin are the only consistent viewers of hockey. We're the only hockey fans, I guess, in the band.
All right, we're gonna need Colin on because I doubt we're gonna be able to find another Sens fan.
Yeah, I think he might be the only one left actually, and it's just gonna be him in the arena by himself next year.
Yeah, so put us in contact with Colin. We need him on here.
Yeah. It's a good thing he's the only one left because he's the only one left in the scene, so it would fit the pod.
Yeah.
So, an insane twist of fate. Our two teams have been, I don't know, crashed together.
I see where you're going with this.
It's a really, really weird thing. It's almost, for lack of a better term, it's sexual tension, where it's like you just want the other person. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's just weird. It's there, but it's not there. It's like we try to not care about the other person, but you care so much about them.
Yeah.
For a horrible reason.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have the conversation. What did you think about the Johnny move?
I mean, to me, I do want to say too, in a funny like karma thing, that just happened to us, but with the Raptors, with Kawhi going back
Yeah.
home to LA. So I thought that was kind of funny because we get that's like but I don't know. It made sense. Like obviously, as a Leaf fan, we haven't had a star player like that in it's been a very long time. So seeing that they signed him, they got that deal done. That was pretty cool. It was on Canada Day, I think, too, which made it even spicier. And then obviously having Marner and Matthews and having this crazy team, it's easy to be like, oh my God, we're gonna crush it. And then we didn't. We lost in the first round. And you guys obviously did great. Barzell's like insane. It kind of worked out. It kind of worked out for you guys, really.
In the long run, I guess you could say, but I'm not exactly sure. It's so annoying, and you're not going to find a lot of people to admit it. But what he did is exactly what we were missing this year to get over that hump that we never even thought we'd get to. But
yeah,
I mean, we beat Pittsburgh, so I think that everyone is kind of like, yeah, in my eyes, I don't think Pittsburgh is the Pittsburgh that they were, and you guys played, the
Boston's hard.
Cup finalists. Yeah, they're hard. They're tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough place to play.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Pittsburgh was sort of dead on arrival. I mean, they were just lifeless. We picked them up and put them in our pocket. They were just terrible.
I mean, teams like Boston are so difficult because in the regular season, most of what they do, they can't do. Right. But then you get to the playoffs and they're just going to absolutely beat the hell out of you. Like, there's nothing you can do about it,
Yeah. I mean, you guys went 7 games. You gave a run at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
Rodgers gone now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Due to that. I mean, if we circling back to that whole thing, if we had Matt Martin, I don't think that whole thing would have happened.
Oh, absolutely not.
No, I loved Matt Martin, dude. I was bummed to see him go.
Yeah, he's just a fan favorite everywhere he goes. Because one, he's an absolute man rocket, and I'm not afraid to say it. Dude's beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah, and two, he's huge and scary, and he will beat the ever living shit out of you. And he's appropriate too, where he's not going to do anything stupid. He's not going to cost you a game. Not going to take a bad penalty out of nowhere. And yeah, I think he's just smart old school hockey.
Yeah, he really is. He's great. He's like a big reason Marner was able to do his thing for his first couple seasons.
Right. And now you've brought it up because he is kind of the linchpin to why everyone thinks Marner wouldn't mind getting an offer sheet from the NYI. So what's going on with Marner, man? What's the beat on the street over in Toronto? And, are you guys done with him? Are you pissed that he wants this much? What goes on?
I think it's just one of those things where you got a guy who didn't get, he first of all, when it was between him and Matthews and that whole thing, he didn't get all the rookie bonuses and all that stuff. Matthews got it all. He played on the fourth line and still put, not last season, but the season before that, he played on the fourth line for a good chunk of it, still was the top point leader. Last season, played with Tavares. Tavares put up career numbers. He was the point leader again. And all he's asking for is Matthews money, which I think is fair. And the Leafs, unfortunately, don't have the cap space for it. So it's become kind of like how do we make this work? And then you got Leaf fans who are angry about it because they're like, he doesn't want to stay in Toronto. And it's like, I think he does, but I think he wants to be valued. I think anyone does at any job you work. You don't want to feel like, you're putting in all the hours and other people are getting more credit than you are.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I don't know what Dubas is thinking here. I don't know how they're gonna work it out. But again, money is just one of those things in sports where if you need somebody on your team, you can make it work. You get it on their team. I just think that you guys are in such a position. I mean, you're one of the. It's a powerhouse situation in Toronto, but it's also, I feel like, built on sand just because you had to sign Matthews and right after you sign Johnny. And I don't think in the cap era you can really hold three guys that really need to command that type of contract.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. I just think I think the thing too is the people like that same argument where people are like, oh yeah, let him take the offer sheet. We'll take what is it, like 3 first-round draft picks or something?
4.
4?
Yeah.
Isn't that the situation we're in right now? You have to pay them eventually.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like we have 4 first-round draft picks, and we got to pay them. Well, 3, I guess. Nylander, Matthews, Marner. I don't know where Gardner was drafted at, but I don't think they're going to be keeping him around.
No.
But the point is, when you draft good players, you got to pay them eventually, and that would just put us in the same spot, So anyone whose argument is that, I find to be kind of like, yeah, we had that, and we made great draft picks, and now we've got great players, and we just got to find a way to keep them. And I think Marner at this point is just trying to get offer sheeted to show the Leafs he's worth that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. It's a fickle bitch to try to think of coming from a Leafs fan point of view, where you're like, oh my God, what, telling Tavares this is the only time you're gonna have this type of talent on the team to, really get you there, to have the firepower, and now he's there, and now it's kind of like, is everyone gonna be able to stick around? So it is extremely interesting, and like you said, these guys, you get these first round talents, but you have to pay them all. So, and I bring up the draft too, like draft picks, unless you have the first, second, third, fourth pick, I'll go as low as 6. After that, it's a crapshoot in hockey.
Yeah, you have random dudes who just find a way they'll get drafted late and still they happen to be incredible. Yeah. But for the most part, it just doesn't happen. But I think Dubas is a good GM, and he's found a way to make a lot of weird things happen.
Yeah.
And I think this is no different. He'll find a way to make it happen. I mean, we got Jason Spezza for $700,000. I don't even know how you do that.
Yeah.
Like, what did he say to him? I want to know what that conversation was.
Yeah. Like, hey, buddy, we'll work something out in the back end. Just sign this piece of paper right now, and then we'll.
Yeah. I get he's old, but still.
Yeah. We'll get you a Tim Hortons you can buy into. That'll supplement your back end.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I just I think first I think Dubas is a good GM. I also think that while he does do things differently, he's doing what every GM in his position would do, and that's just he's gunning for it. He knows this is the 3-year window before everybody has to really, get on with it. I think he did a great job last year, obviously bringing back JT, and he's kind of walking the rope right now. A lot of people listen. After a certain amount, you can't go on forever being the best team. You know what I mean? And have the best contracts. At a certain time, it's just you're gonna have to pay the piper for a little while before you get back on the rope. So he's gonna have some difficulties coming up. But I agree. I do think he's a good GM, and moving forward, I think and forgive me, but I just feel as though I'm really starting to get sick of the insufferable Toronto fan that just expects every Toronto-born player is going to play for peanuts in a Maple Leafs uniform because they owe it. Yeah, and I don't know if you agree with if you feel that same way.
No, I think no matter where you are, you got to be valued. And if you don't feel that way, you're not going to be happy with your situation. And I mean, I don't know why fans feel that way. I don't really get it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when, I don't know what the actual percentage is, but it feels this way. When a quarter of the league is from the Toronto area or something,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like every other player's from the area.
Yeah. What do you want me to do? It's
you know what I mean?
Sport, more or less.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And also, not everybody loves a lot of people don't want to play in Toronto, man. It's like if it's a tough sport. In terms of our media, they just suffocate anything Leafs. If you play on that team and you make one bad play, that could be the end of you. So I get some guys don't even want to play there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't really understand that. And for a guy like Marner or whatever, if he did leave, it'd be a huge bummer, but I don't think he's going to. I think at the end of the day, it'll be fine. But yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Don't get it.
Now, do you think he does the same thing like Nylander and holds out to like December 1st?
No, I don't think he does. I think he'll be there day one.
Yeah, Sam. In a Leafs uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And I hope that happens because honestly, it's an old boys club, and if we offer sheet Mitch Marner, they're just going to come back and offer sheet Barzal the next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and just I think too, if you're a GM, I don't really know what the vibe is on these types of things, but I feel like offer sheeting is viewed a little bit like hitting on someone's girlfriend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly what it is.
You can't just do it and expect there to not be any bad blood. Like I think when you do that, you're sending a pretty clear message that you don't really care. And I think with Montreal, who did Montreal just do that to? They tried to get Aho.
Yeah, but that's a messy situation because didn't he like say that he would sign that offer sheet or something like that?
Yeah, well, you have to sign it. I think the only way it works.
Well, you don't have to sign it. They could tender you an offer sheet. If you sign it, the team has to meet it. But you're fucking your own team over there a little bit because they don't have now. They have to go back and shed contracts. Like that's what's gonna happen to the Leafs if somebody offer sheet. I mean, they could really fuck you guys over if you think about it, right? Because they could just offer him what he wants, knowing that he's a bit of the glue that holds it together. And I don't know, man. You can't miss out on that. They're gonna have to shed somebody that they didn't really want to shed that contract for, and keep them. And now you're kind of fucked.
The scariest thing for me is the potential players that if they lost him, they would end up re-signing, like Gardner, for example, who I think a lot of people do want to see not in Toronto. If Marner left, like obviously they'd have the money to keep Gardner, and that's a bit of a scary thought.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It could also be a best case scenario thing. You know what I mean? If the only offer sheet he's getting is $8 million, then it's like beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I think whatever happens for the rest of this offseason for the Toronto Maple Leafs, at the end of the day, you have a good team. I don't know what, you know what I mean? I don't think
they built the back end a little bit too, and it'll be good.
Yeah, I don't think Mitch Marner, losing him is going to be a regression to your team at all. John Tavares has played on far worse teams and done better. You know what I mean? So
I would be bummed to see him go, though. He's my favorite player. I love watching him play.
Well, he actually has a personality, unlike
he
JT.
does. Or even Matthews, man. I don't know how you can be so big and not hit people.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I think Matthews is great too, but he's such a big dude. I want to see him crush somebody.
Oh yeah, he's just too talented to put his body in the way like that. I
guess, yeah. No, it's probably not a good idea, especially with his injury history and all that. But
yeah, it's so cool to have this group of young kids that are so goddamn talented. Like, have your Matthews, your Barzal, your Eichel, and and Besser, and like everybody. I think was it like the 2015 draft class?
Yeah, dude, it's insane. I want to know how that happened. I don't know what year that was, but whatever was in the water, that's something.
Yeah, and like I just feel like we as fans are so lucky to have kids that were in that little group, like that little small fraternity.
Yeah. Yeah, it's strange.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like they're kind of like changing the way the game is looked. I don't know. I don't know if that's too hyperbole of me to say, but I feel like they're changing the game and making it like better for younger people to pick up and love because they have personality,
Yeah, completely. And it's just, I mean, everything about it. I mean, they're such a big part of why the game's changing. And I mean, I don't think there's like an enforcer left in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, you got guys who are big that, can be enforcers, but even those guys can still play hockey.
Oh, for sure.
Not like how it used to be, where you could just step on the ice and
Yeah.
it's like you got all these young guys who are just incredibly talented, and I think going forward, it's just going to be. I don't know if it'll get better and better each year, but yeah, it is pretty crazy that one draft class is like half of them played junior together.
Yeah, it's insane. I actually have it pulled up now. It's 2015. I was wrong about Matthews. I'm not. He wasn't in this draft class, but it went McDavid, Eichel, then Marner at 4, Hannafin, and then DeBrusk,
Oh, he's
Barzal,
good.
Thomas Chabot, Joel Eriksson, Brock Besser, Konecki, sorry, Beauvillier. And that's really like the standout teams from the first round, but that's
Damn.
fucking wild.
That's like a great year to have a 10th round draft pick, or a 10th,
Oh, yeah.
a 10th, first round 10th draft pick.
Yeah, that completely goes against what I was saying earlier.
Yeah,
about-
like that one random year is just. I'll take the 10th
Savages.
pick that year over the first pick, some other years.
yeah, complete savages.
Yeah.
2015 draft class. But let's transfer over to the music. The Savages from Bearings. You heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys just announced your tour. You're going on tour with our boys from Grayscale in September.
Yeah, dude, I'm stoked.
Yeah, man.
Have you met those guys yet?
Haven't met them.
All right,
Haven't
so
met
don't
them.
be fooled. They're gonna pretend like everyone in the band is Philadelphia Flyers fans, but their drummer is actually a Nashville Predators fan. So call them out on that.
What a funny team. Man, some of the worst jerseys ever. I'm going to buy one of those jerseys just for that tour. Those like awful off-colored yellow ones.
Oh, the mustard.
Yeah, I'm going to bring a mustard-colored Preds jersey to that tour now.
People love that. I think that's uglier than the fisherman. Like, I don't understand how people hate the fisherman jersey and love the mustard color jersey.
Yeah, I think they're both bad. I'm sorry.
I mean, whatever. We get it from all angles, but I don't
Yeah.
think it's the worst.
No,
but-
I don't think it's the worst either. There's much worse.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. Do you guys have any, like, if you were to do Leafs merch for Bearings, like, would there be a problem?
We've done Leafs merch. Leafs
Oh.
merch actually. We did.
Yeah.
When we did like we just did 2 headline shows. We did Ottawa and Brampton, which is like a little bit outside Toronto, and we did it's like the Leafs logo, and it just says blue in the dark,
Oh,
and it was just like a blue hoodie. Yeah.
yeah, I always I'm in the merch business, so I always like asking people because, I mean, it's standard, especially I feel like hockey logos and names and stuff are like the coolest for the scene that we do to like work into your artwork and merchandise and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Like we haven't been sued yet, so I think we're good.
Yeah,
They'll give you a letter first, so you're good.
Yeah.
cease and desist. I've been there, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, it's all good.
So that's cool though that you're going out on this tour and it's gonna lead you right up to basically hockey season. So you and the Grayscale boys can just go back and forth leading up to the season.
Yeah, no, I'm stoked, man. I'm like, really excited for that tour. I didn't even know they were hockey fans. I saw that one of them was on the podcast.
Yeah, Vaughn, he's the man. So yeah, he's a big Flyers fan.
Cool. So I saw that one of them was on there, and I was like, oh, are they hockey fans? Because that's exciting. Hopefully someone brings either an Xbox or a PS4 so we can run a little bit of Chell.
Oh.
And yeah, that way I can. I'm not that good at the new ones because I'm a big NHL 04 guy.
Got it.
You got to set the settings to the old controller. That's what I have to do when I play.
Yeah, I like beat a shoot and all that.
Yeah, exactly. I can't do the troggle or toggle stick to shoot.
You
Yeah,
guys suck.
I'm not good at it. I'm not good. Look at he's like, oh, you guys are bad.
No, I'm bad too, but you have to suffer with me.
Hmm.
You can't
But
just
that's
sit here.
that's how I was raised playing video. So I'm older, by the way. I'm 32. So like I learned how to play hockey video games on Super Nintendo. So
Same kind of. I'm 25, so like for me it was like a lot of PS2 and like original Xbox. So then when they released like the new, I haven't bought a next gen console. So when they started to get like super in depth with all like the crazy deeks and everything, I was like, oh man, I'm bad at this game now. I used to be
Oh,
so
no.
good at it. Now I'm bad.
Oh yeah, I fully agree. It's gotten far too ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't do the move where you just like skate the puck to the back of the net and then just feed it to the slot. And like
Yeah.
in the old games, that worked every single time.
Yeah. Well, dude, I was playing. So I don't. It's kind of crazy how I ended up with it, but I didn't buy it, but I got NHL 04, and then there's this whole group of people on the internet, and they have like, I don't know, man, they're a crazy group, but it's all current rosters, current arenas, everything. You know what I mean? It's insane. And so I play NHL 04 with all updated rosters and like updated graphics and stuff. It's weird.
How do you pull this one off? This seems like a bit of a.
It was a stretch. It was just because I Googled, because I don't have a console. I just have my computer.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, how can I play Chell on my computer? And people were like, yo, there's this really small group of people who like consider NHL 04 the best game of all time, and they just constantly update it.
That's
Look at
fucking
that.
awesome. I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah, dude, it's a little kind of complicated to like put the file. You gotta like put the files in the right spots and all that. But once you get it going, it's a lot of fun. But I forgot how hard the AI was in that game.
Oh, that's what's his name is on the cover of this one.
It was Heatley, right?
Yeah, yeah, the Thrashers.
Yeah, but then they took it away from Heatley because that was the year he got in that car crash.
And then who do they replace him with?
What's his name?
I don't remember.
Oh, no, he's on the Avalanche.
Joe
Sakic.
Sakic.
They replaced him? Okay, cool.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I remember that he was on it, and then he got in that car accident, and they didn't know if he was driving drunk or what the deal was, and he got pulled off the cover so quick.
Crazy.
So, 2004. You're absolutely correct. Look at this. I found the website. Pre-internet. Okay, so there's a reason why, because it's the last game they put out for PC.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So that's why they did it. Yeah. The best hockey game ever created, NHL 04 rebuilt. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense. Yeah, I never played games on my computer, like games. That wasn't really like a big computer game guy, so I could see why there's a whole thing. Oh yeah, if you want to install it, hey Mike, we should post this.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
have a
Well, I don't
97
want to
mod,
blow
too.
up your secret society.
No, dude, the more people playing, the better. If one of you guys can figure out how to get online working, because there's a whole thing on how to do it. I tried doing it, I couldn't, but if one of you guys can figure it out, we'll play a game.
Oh boy. Oh god.
Yeah,
Well,
those old NHL games had like the craziest soundtracks too,
I
with
just-
a
Oh,
bunch of like
man.
bands from the scene too. Like I remember Bayside being on there, Gatsby's American Dream. Like it was awesome.
dude,
looking that
it's
up
so
right now. Actually
it's
good.
so trippy. We went on tour with 4 Years Strong and Less Than Jake, I think like a year and a half ago or something. And I'm playing the game, and Less Than Jake's on it, and I'm like, wow, damn, dude, like that's funny as hell. I'm on tour with a band that was on this game I was playing when I was like in grade 4. That's so crazy.
Alien Ant Farm, Avenged Sevenfold, Bowling for Soup, brand new, The Quiet Things No One Ever Knows.
Yeah, dude. Those
Deftones?
old soundtracks are fucking awesome.
Dude, Gob was like a staple
Gob.
of those games.
The Ataris, Born Day Zero. Yeah, EA Sports kills it, especially in hockey.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know what happened, why the soundtracks they're still good. I haven't had one of the newer games in a while. I know Pup was on one of the more recent ones, and that's a great band, but yeah, I don't know. I just remember back in the day it was nuts, man. I'm pretty sure NHL's responsible for my entire taste in music.
Look at
Oh
that.
yeah.
Going full circle. The connections never end.
Yeah, them and Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Oh, damn, dude. Those games were great.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, if you go on Spotify right now, people make playlists out of these soundtracks too. So there's an entire playlist of every Tony Hawk Pro Skater soundtrack ever made.
Damn. Props to
Yes.
them, man.
Yeah.
I tried looking for the NHL one. I couldn't find there's people kind of make them, but they don't always get all the songs.
Yeah, well, I guess some of them aren't always on Spotify, the songs.
Yeah, not every artist has their stuff on there for some reason.
It's a good point. But yeah, so I've been back on the chill kick lately because I need to like turn my brain off from thinking about work. And I have lost some of the most heartbreaking games in the history of the planet. I was 5-on-3 for the up by 3 goals in the third period with like 9 minutes left and fucking lost it.
Damn, dude. The ice tilt, man. Every time.
Every single time.
It'll get you. I don't understand that game, dude. I actually watched a YouTube video. Nasher, actually. You ever watch Nasher?
Is that the hockey guy?
He's a big Chell YouTuber guy. Yeah.
Ah.
But he did like an experiment. He took the lowest rated goalie in the game and played a game with him online. And he's in a pretty high tier.
Right.
And he still won. His goalie made more saves than the goalie on the other side, who was Johnny Bauer, I think. The other guy had Johnny Bauer in net, and he had just whoever the lowest rated goalie was. Right. And he still won. Jeez. And his team faced more shots. It's insane, man. It's like the goalies don't matter. It's kind of those games.
Yeah,
they'll drive you insane.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Sometimes I envision that like I'm playing a 5-year-old. And then, like, that kid's, like, dad walks in the room who's been playing NHL, like, by contract for money for his entire life.
Yes.
And hands off the controller, and you have no idea. And then it just turns into a goddamn bloodbath.
Yeah, like, the kid's crying. He's like, Dad, this guy's fucking me up online. His dad's like, all right, hand me the controller.
Yeah, exactly.
Just cleans you up for the next half hour.
Yeah, first 2 periods, they're just pulling the goalie left, right, and center. I'm scoring 1 million goals. And then the third period, this guy's, like, doing, like, through the legs, behind the back, crossover, fucking sick, deep goals and destroying me. It comes out of nowhere every single time.
Yeah, that's so funny, man.
So goddamn annoying. But, hold on. Mike, can you...
Yeah, so when I came across your band, I just couldn't stop thinking about how I was like the king of cleaning my bearings. Like growing up on Long Island, roller hockey's pretty huge.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, oh, bearings, like they must be hockey fans.
Yeah.
So is that reference to that, or are you guys just like a bunch of mechanical engineers?
Dude, honestly, the band name is like, I don't even know. I don't even know how we got it. I think the band started when we were in college, and the drummer, who hasn't been, like, he was only in the band like a couple months, but he came up with the name. Like, he really liked the name, and I joined, and we didn't take it super seriously. We're just like, oh yeah, this will be a band while we're in college, and then when college is over, we'll just all go home and do our own things. And so he liked the name, so we're like, yeah, cool, that's a cool name. And then once he left, we'd already printed stickers, so we're like, we're kind of committed to the name now. We printed stickers. And then, it kind of just like we ended up not all moving home. We ended up taking it a little more seriously. And now our band name is Bearings, but there's no real...
I think you go with the roller hockey reference.
Yeah, I guess so.
Story.
Yeah, I know his thing was like there's like bearings and a compass. And it's about like finding your way, and I was like, whatever, that's cheesy, but that's cool. I'm cool with the name. And surprisingly, there wasn't really another band with that name. And half the battle is just finding a band name no one else has.
Yep.
When you're starting a band, so that's kind of how that ended up being a thing. But actually, that's not true. There was a band from Philadelphia called Bearings, but they'd only put out one record, so we figured we were safe.
All right. Yeah, it's funny. We had this conversation with Corey from Free Throw, and like we were like, you guys are all huge hockey fans. Why are you naming your band after like a basketball play? And
yeah.
Kind of like just like one of those things. They were just like shooting names around, and it stuck.
Yeah, Free Throw's a cool name though. I like that name.
Yeah, we need to figure out if the guys in Knuckle Puck are hockey fans, and if they're not, I feel like those bands should just like swap names.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like they must be hockey fans. There's no way they don't know what it like. You know what I mean? Knuckle puck is such a
Oh,
hockey term.
oh, absolutely. Like those Mighty Ducks movies made us as
Oh,
people.
dude, they were so good. They were so good.
Hell yeah. So yeah, I take pride in showing those movies to my students every single year, just so I can be like, all right, I'm passing the torch on, so that these kids can all appreciate the Mighty Ducks like we did.
Yeah, dude, it's like
And
the
they do. They
first.
get into them. It's like a
Yeah,
movie that doesn't really age.
no, it's like a really good movie, man. I think it's like one of the few hockey movies that does kind of a good job of, I don't know, just making it hockey seem fun and cool, and it's not cheesy, and it's kind of cheesy, but in a kind of a nice way. And there's a good story to it, and it's also incredibly hilarious. Like, isn't Iceland the best team in the world or something?
Yep.
Like, it's just so bizarre because I don't even think anyone from Iceland plays hockey.
No, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh man, those movies are great though, man. Those and you ever watch Goon?
Oh, absolutely.
Dude.
Goon, like that whole scene where he's taking like shots to the face at the end, and,
Yeah.
like, just sacrificing his body, almost brought me to tears.
Yeah, dude. He's fucking. I was like, when I saw that Sean William Scott, right? That's the actor
Yep.
in that.
Hmm.
Dude, when I saw that he was being cast for it, I was like, what? This guy, like the American Pie guy, is gonna be this hockey dude? Like, I don't know how that's gonna go over, but he did a great job. He's like just kind of he plays the dumb guy well enough that it paints a good picture of like kind of the enforcer role in kind of those the old school hockey, you know?
Dude, those guys wore their hearts on their sleeves. Like we had John Morasti on, Nasty
Yep.
Morasti, and man, he was. He's not going to score 10 goals a year, but he was just as important in that locker room and on the ice than anyone else. I kind of wish that the game went back to that a little bit. Even like you mentioned how Matt Martin, you loved him and his toughness, but Matt Martin and those guys would never step up to those real old school enforcers.
No, never. I mean, but that's the thing, right? I think there still is a place for that, especially come playoff time. I think teams need that, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I wish the Leafs had that, to be honest with you. I wish we had someone who could go and beat the daylights out of someone if it was needed. But we don't, and so you end up with guys like Kadri, like, swinging their stick at people, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, but it's just a different game. We'll get used to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool, though. I mean, there's still a lot of hockey where you can go see that. I think, not junior necessarily, but kind of like the non-NHL professional leagues still have a healthy dose of it.
Yeah, even the AHL's kind of softened up a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense, though, because those guys are just trying to make the NHL at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, but it used to be brutal. Like, it used to be like the stage fights and all that. You don't really see that anymore.
Yeah, there's a dude. I was just watching not a podcast, but it was like a YouTube thing. Who the heck was it? He played on Buffalo. It was the Kessel, slashing him. He tried to fight Kessel, and Kessel just went at him with a stick. Who was it? Why don't I have this on the
John
Scott.
Yeah.
Yes, dude. So have you seen his YouTube video describing how that situation happened?
No, I haven't.
Dude, he does a play-by-play of the entire thing. It's incredible. It's like he essentially, I guess there was a fight out on the ice, and he goes up to the Leafs bench, and he's like, whoever you put beside me, I'm going to kick their ass. And Randy Carlyle puts out the first line and smiles at him. Like, what are you going to do? You're not going to fight our first line. None of them are going to fight you. So Kessel lines up beside him, and he looks at Kessel and just goes, I'm just warning you. I guess he likes Kessel. He's like, I'm just warning you, but I have to jump you now. Like, I said it, so now I have to follow through with it. And Kessel's like, what? And then the puck drops, and he just drops his gloves and starts chasing him. Kessel's like, oh, fuck no, dude. It's just hacking at him. And just this whole fight breaks out between everybody, and the goalies get into it. And I always thought it was Kessel. I was always like, oh, Kessel's such a, you know,
Oh, but I love Phil Kessel, man.
dude, I love him too. But in that, I was like, dude, what the hell? What did he say to this guy to piss him off? But apparently he didn't say anything, which explains why that went down the way it did, because he was not down to fight. He's like, I don't think so, man.
Phil
I
Kessel is like
wouldn't
the
fight him
Bartolo
either.
Colon of hockey.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
Completely.
know if you're familiar with. Do you watch baseball at all?
Yes. And,
Okay, so you know Bartolo.
I think both Kessel and him both eat a healthy amount in the off season.
Absolutely. There is nothing better than a professional athlete that doesn't look like a professional athlete.
Oh, dude, just because of the thought of like being at the bar and some dude picks a fight with them, and they don't know who they're picking a fight with, they're like, "Oh, this guy's a beer guy. I'm
Yeah.
good." And then it's Phil Kessel, like,
Dude, the hot dog king,
yeah, exactly, man, eating hot dogs out of the Stanley Cup.
Philly Phil. He's the man. And his sister is an animal too.
Oh, right, she plays for the American national team, right?
Yeah, she does.
Damn,
Yeah. It's a family affair.
that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
we talked about how Toronto is just like the hotbed for NHL players, but Canada right now is like the hotbed for pop punk. What's going on up there?
Yeah, dude, I don't know what's going on. I think it's one of those things where is when one pops off, everybody kind of sees, okay. And then you want to be as good as them, or you want to do what they're doing. And I don't know. We definitely came around a little late to the party, but we were able to see Seaway and like Pacific kind of get signed and get on really cool support tours, and then we kind of had something to base what we wanted off of, I guess. Like, we were able to open for them when they were playing Ottawa or Toronto. And I don't know, man. It's been I think I kind of know what's up too. We have these two really good producers out of Toronto, Sam and Anton, and they're not wildly expensive, but they'll put together a song. Like, say if you're an unsigned artist, they're not wildly expensive, and if you go in and record with them, you'll get a professional sounding product.
Okay.
You know,
so
it's
that's what
like,
everyone's doing up there.
yeah, like basically any band that is kind of coming out of Canada is worked with them. So like Pacific, Seaway, us, Cold Front, who else would there be? Rarity. Basically, if there's a band from Canada, they've worked with those guys.
Look at that.
Yeah,
And,
we got
and I'm guessing that like Pure Noise Records just probably hangs out in there all day, just signing you guys all up, huh?
I don't really know like how it's funny to me that Pure Noise signs all these Canadian bands because
They're in California.
yeah, like they definitely don't have an office in Toronto or anything like that, but maybe it's just one of those things where you sign one band and through that you find this other band, and then now you've got a couple bands, and it's just kind of like any area where there's probably like 10 bands from that area that are absolutely phenomenal, and it only takes one of them to kind of get that opportunity for the rest of them to kind of ride that wave right behind them, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I'm like eyeing like Pacific. I'm waiting for them to drop like their next like full US tour because they're on my bucket list of a band I need to see.
Yeah, you should definitely go see them. I know they got shows with
Sleep on It. Yeah, and a few others.
Our friends in Sleep on It. I know that that's a North American tour, right?
A little bit. It's not making its way down to the south where I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The Grayscale
But-
tour is though, right?
Not in Charlotte, but yeah, it's making its way down to North Carolina.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm the worst for that stuff, man. We'll get a tour and I don't know where we're going.
That's why you have a tour manager.
Exactly. Our bassist, he usually knows where we are and what day, like where we should be, and I just kind of like, I'm like, all right, what dates do I need to book off again? And then we get in the van and then we go play shows.
Hey, at least you have GPS on your phone. Like 10 years ago, it was just like whipping
Oh,
out
yeah.
MapQuest and shit.
I don't know how bands would have done it, man.
I don't know.
Especially some of these venues, they're like hidden.
Oh
you know?
yeah.
Sometimes you
or
roll
like-
up on venues and it's like they don't exist. You're like, where is this place? Because you just wouldn't know,
Or like the big cities, like navigating New York City without a smartphone.
Oh,
my
man.
God.
Navigating New York City with a smartphone is awful. You know?
Oh yeah, it's the worst.
I legit need somebody. I don't know if you guys can do this for me, but someone needs to like do a custom map for me on where I can go with the trailer and where I can't, because I clearly don't know.
You can't
Okay.
go anywhere.
You're not. First of all, I'll lie to you right now, and I'll say that I can help you out. So next time you're in New York, just shoot me a message, and I'll just go hang out with you the entire time and make
Okay,
believe
cool.
like I know where you can park, but you can't.
Yeah,
But yeah, the exact answer to that is you're not allowed to be anywhere with a trailer, pal.
yeah. Like I can't go on parkways. There's bridges you can't go on. There's tunnels you can't go through. It's like, how does anybody get through that? How does anyone get through New York? It's insane.
Wild. Wild.
Yeah, crazy. But we did get to spend a few days in New York City, but I don't know if we've ever been in Long Island.
Oh, you gotta go,
Oh,
man.
You've
The
never
Mecca.
been in Long Island. You have been. If you have been, you've been on Long Island.
Oh, right. Right.
Sorry, I had to be that asshole.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Like it's a big deal.
Is it?
People on Long Island just cannot stand when people say in Long Island.
Oh, and I guess, yeah, it makes sense. Like you're on the island, you're not in it.
Correct. I don't get worked up about it. I only get worked up about it online, like as a joke.
True. Okay.
I
I'm
really-
trying to think if there was like anything equivalent that we got here where, those types of things matter.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure we do. Probably.
You seem like a scholarly gentleman, and I've been meaning to talk to Mike about this anyway. So I'm gonna bring this up, and then I want your opinion on it.
Okay.
If so, the point of saying on Long Island instead of in Long Island is because you're referring to Long Island as the landmass and not the city of Long Island, right?
Yeah, well, also I think it's like, for example, I don't know American geography very well.
Right.
So like even states, dude, like there are states I didn't realize were states until we played them.
Right.
Which sounds weird, but like when you look at sports teams, there's not a sports team in Canada that's not called by the city. Like you call it by the city, not by the province.
Right. Correct.
So like, but with American sports, there's teams that are named after the state. So you'll have like the Florida Panthers. So you grow up thinking Florida's a city, and then you realize it's not.
Correct.
So I think it's one of those things where I'm like, Long Island. Oh, that's like not like that's like
It's a
its
city.
own city. Yeah. I
Right.
think it's like its own city.
Right. Well, I'm going to combat that with I feel that thinking about it more, that it's kind of hypocritical to make people say on Long Island, but then not recognize Brooklyn and Queens as being part of Long Island, even though they're geographically attached, right? Because
Yeah.
you want everyone to recognize it as the landmass and not the city, but then you're excluding two pieces of cities that are actually attached to the island.
And those are pretty different places too. Like,
Yeah,
York's crazy for
boroughs
that,
of the
man.
city.
yeah, well, I know, but New York's funny, man. You can like, you walk down the street and you go from one accent to the other.
Yeah, it's true. I can blow your mind right now and tell you that where my computer is currently sitting, like where my ass is sitting right now,
Yeah,
is 3 blocks from the city of New York line,
yeah, that's wild.
and I sound completely different than somebody that lives maybe 4 blocks from me.
Yeah, dude, totally. It's crazy.
Yes. Planet Earth is a crazy place. Mike, do you care to chime in on what I was saying about how it's not fair, how it's hypocritical?
I really like Brooklyn and Queens really are just a different world, even though they are geographically on Long Island. They're different worlds. Long Island's just totally different.
Right. So you all agree it is hypocritical of us to do that. Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear. And I'm citing you in that because, again, like I said, you sound like 2 bright gentlemen, one of which is a teacher and the other has an insanely good band, and only smart people can do that. And so I am vindicated on that
Sweet.
front. So it is late on a Sunday night. And I think we're gonna wrap it up for now.
Cool.
And then when the Leafs are back in town and we embarrass them yet again to the point where maybe they have to make like a Mike Babcock Toronto Day just to make them feel better, then we'll have you hop on and we'll talk about that. But for now, I think we can put a bow on it. Get you excited for your tour.
Cool.
And yeah, Mikey, anything?
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you're into fantasy hockey, but we're thinking about starting up like a bar down breakdown fantasy hockey league. If you want to hop on that, I'm not sure if you're
do it up,
into
dude.
that.
I'll join. I haven't had a good fantasy hockey league in a while. Are we putting money on the line?
I'm thinking, I'm big on if we have a platform, I like to try to like raise money for charities rather.
Cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah. So I'm still toying around with the idea and like how I can make it work, but I definitely would rather like collect money for charity and donate to like one of the hockey players' charities.
True. Well, just let me know, guys, and I'm definitely down to do it when you make it.
Oh, all right, sweet. And thank you so much for hopping on. Like, this has been awesome, and you're gonna really enjoy the Grayscale guys. They're awesome, and you already know the Belmont guys, right? You just did like a little stint with them.
Yep.
So that's gonna be a great tour.
Yeah, dude. It's gonna be
Grayscale's
awesome.
Releasing their new album, which is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we might have a couple songs out too, so we'll see.
Oh, good shit.
Maybe not.
All right.
Oh boy. All right.
You heard it here first.
Oh, you did. There it is. That's the first time that I didn't have to say that. Someone else said that. That's from the horse's mouth, people.
Cool. Well, thank you for having me, guys. It was a good time.
Hey, thanks for coming on, man. And I'll see you when you're around these parts.
Cool. Sounds good. I'll see you guys then.
All right. See you, man.